Here it is. I have a challenge for you. Revisit the gentleman's disagreement scenario, but with the stipulation that you have to win gold with a car that revs reliably to 12,000 RPM, is naturally aspirated, and has 50-50 weight distribution. So let me write that into chat in case you didn't catch all of that. Hello, we can game if we want to, aka murderer. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it, but it's a challenge, so I am accepting it. So, this is Gentleman's Disagreement. And if you weren't familiar with this one, I believe it is Andrew in the chat. Daffy, mostly because I said, hey, come chat. Oh, so it's not murder if you're following someone's orders? I don't believe that. Aha, see, Packbat, you were a step ahead of me. He didn't say what was reliable, he just said reliable. To me, reliable is it starts, it runs, and it was able to finish its engine test. That's reliable. So, this challenge was originally, the gentleman's agreement is becoming a real pain in the muffler, your hands are tied, and knocking competitors out of the park with that brand new V12 powered Gran Turismo Coupe. Gran Turismo. Did you pay, like, royalties to that? Of yours? Would have been a pleasure. Now your competitors are catching up. Instead, with their fancy turbocharged coupes, their company is the biggest automotive maker of the country. Time has come to show off your research department's butt-kicking potential and make your competitors struggle against some real high-tech 276 horsepower. So this is exactly the late 90s, and apparently, I would say if we're doing something V12, if like that was our original goal, and we're going up against the people doing a 276 horsepower max, we're probably a Italian or European company going up against the Japanese companies. That would be my take on it. Does it say Gran Touring? It says Gran Turismo. Oh yeah, oh sorry, I didn't see Pack's comment. Yes, it does mean Gran Touring. So I've never played any of these with the new formula. So it's in Fruinia, a region I've never played in. And Family Sport Premium 130, Light Sport Premium 115 is your target demographics. And 275 horsepower max is the only requirement. And you get two bodies to choose from, 106.3 or the 98. So you either get the big engine bay, but a heavier car, or you get the smaller car with a small engine bay. Higher safety emphasis on Fruinia. Am I saying that right? Is there a right way to say it? Did Robert make these? I think Robert made these. So therefore, there's no right way to say it. Great. The first choice I have to make. I don't know what choice to make. Favors shorter cars. Well, that choice just got a whole lot easier to make. Well, can't leave it looking like this. Oh, it's 1991. It's a lot earlier than I thought it would be. I thought this was like late 90s. It's actually early 90s. Utility sales group. I think there is now a utility sales group, but I will let him respond to that. So if it's early 90s, we could get away with a hatchback easily. And since we can, I will. Nose of this car has always bothered me. No. Even though none of this matters. Oh, it makes it Miata-ish, huh? See, I kind of wish you could have a straight underhang, but you can't. There's one thing that is missing from my grill designs. Let's do it pretty generic then. Just a little kick up. So monocoque, obviously. Price wasn't really a thing here, was it? I'm just dropped here via Facebook. So this is the gentleman's disagreement. I will repost the stipulations. Bam. Don't forget the tech pool. Okay, that is something that I was probably going to forget. And my assumption is we should always use it, right? It's been a long time since I've done scenarios. I like it when people ask me if I'm going to stream tonight, as I'm streaming. Speaking of that person, he's here. Let's do steel, longitudinal. Previous stab had 2 already, as well. Oh, it did. I never even think of this. I never even think of the body having quality. So I may never actually put quality in bodies that I build in like the Let's Play. So McPherson, low weight, average. Double wishbone. Safety was important, but I don't think this is going to affect that. Engineering time, all that doesn't matter. I don't think any of that, really, I think we can go pretty expensive with this car. So we'll do double wishbone. Push rod? Yeah, push rod. Thickness of the body panels. So wouldn't that make it heavier? In theory. Couldn't that be a bad thing? Double wishbone in the back is probably my first gut feeling. But I don't know this market very well, so I'm going to have to like play around with this quite a bit, I feel. So let's just do basic to begin with. I haven't messed with partial aluminum yet, so let's do that. I'm surprised that's a... Yeah, I guess it would be an early 90s thing. So, where's our pop-ups? And what style of pop-ups do we want? Nope. It's kind of a different style pop-up. Made that nose a lot rounder than I remember making it. Definitely use the tech pool here. Free prestige and reliability. You used it. That's not too bad. You blew it off because you knew there was going to be a stream of derpage. He is often here for bingo, unlike some other. I want to mention any Pirelli names. Big one. Where's the big one? Oui, cool. How am I making this into a Miata? How is this happening? Needs some vents. That's what it needs. How about the big square ones? Actually kind of looking like a happy car. How unlike me. Miatas rock. That would be a good thing. Miatas do rock in every way except their styling. Needs a lip. What a short lip. No, this way. No, I guess it was the other way. There we go. Nice. That looks better. Yeah, if you didn't expect me to go pop-up headlights 240 looking front end on here, then you don't know me very well. Yeah, it's getting better. Need some indicators though. In. Caswell always gets all upset when I do this because he's like, it's not how we intended it to work. Yeah, the NA is not a good looking car. I don't care what anybody says. Hello, Powers. Yeah, I mean, they're awesome cars. They're really fun cars to drive, but styling wise, not so good. Okay. Once this is done, I actually start doing bingo night, but any of the people just here for automation, you'll have somewhere to go. Don't you disappointed look at me. That is a really long nose. Hey, I didn't do the fenders. You guys let me not do the fenders. Alright, we're stalling. Handles. Not the black handle. Yeah, that looks silly. I wish you could pick a different default color but red. I really hate designing colors when they're red. I know you can go forward and change it, but I always forget about the fenders. And taillights. I could do them now, yeah. I'll wait until the next tab though, because I don't think it's going to tell me. No, wait, I'll hop back to this tab and do it. Yes, having the default color like always being a different color, like I always want it to be that forest green color, obviously. I'm gonna pick it anyway. What's the difference in these? I haven't seen these before. I don't know. The black outline of it? Oh. Oh. I like the black outline. It's an S15 before there was an S15. Happy November, everybody. Just means you get 2 automation streams this month. I really wish there was an easier way to make solid taillights. Like if there was just a big red taillight that wasn't these, that didn't have the weird lip around the edge, that would make me happy. I'm surprised no modders have done that yet. Like this taillight with no amber in it and no white in it, just the red, so that you could stretch the back. Because now you can do it this way, but then you get a giant amber light. And that looks silly. What else we got? How about these? Nope. Noted. Oh, that's the look. That's the look. That makes me happy. It's not the stretch across look that I want. Ew, no. Don't do that. Don't do that, taillight. Hey, KA, how are you? We're building. Not a 240. But actually, I'll repost it so you can get the gist. Nope. Let's do the regular. Actually, let me do it in a bumper. We're early enough we can still get away with that. Yeah. I'm alive. I am alive. I've been, my sleep schedule's been all screwed up thanks to some automation guys that have been keeping me up all night while I guide them on fixing their Falcon. Those guys. Where? Okay. No, that's what I wanted, spoiler. That is exactly, that's exactly how I wanted it. No, that too. That was right. Why is this not doing what I want? Do as I command, spoiler. That's actually a lip. You're not gonna do it, are you? It morphs like I want it, but then it just disappears. I might have to use the wing. Cooper, you're late. You're fired. Wings. I think he actually just did this. And no spoilers. Don't tell me how hard it was. Yikes. See, this would be awesome if it wasn't black. Why can't it be body colored? Is that an option? No. No. Spoiler then. Eeh. If it was a coupe, that would work. Lip needs to be upside down or a lip spoiler. For a lip spoiler. Yeah, I was trying the upside down. It didn't want to do it. Like, you know, you put it up here. And then you flip it. Oh. Make a liar out of me, why don't you? Oh, you didn't do it. Okay. Oh, that looks nice. Why every car in the world does not come like this, I'll never know. Yeah, there isn't any bodies that really fit the S13, DSM, Probe. What other ones can I think of? Celica. I guess this is kind of Celica-ish. Ah, gotcha. All good. Okay, well, let's put a muffler on this thing or an exhaust. And call it good. Is it going to be V12? What do we think? What do we think the engine is going to be? I could just do dual singles and cover it. Even if it is a 4-cylinder, that's not too terribly carried away. I'm starting to dislike the largeness of the headlights. Let's bring them down a little. I won't use my vector badge. V12 stupidly short stroke. Okay. If it were black, it would look 200SX. Yeah, the S12. Those are cool. I've always thought that those are cool, but I've never found one or seen them in like decent condition. I really need to request that somebody make me like an actual badge for Vector someday. I'm terrible at asking people for things. That one looks kind of cool. And it looks a little European. No, European. I have seen one S12 and it was in a junkyard. I wish we had the European plates. We've heard this song 1,000 times. Next! Don't forget the fender's cone. Full disclosure, I'm a little... My mother had an S12 and she loathed it. Well, if your mom hated it, then that means that we would love it. 255? That seems like a lot for 91. We can always change it later. Even 235 would be a bunch. For this much power, that'd be fine. Next. Green. Actually, I don't love the green on this one. That ain't too bad. That's not great. Oh, why would anybody pick that color? Let's just get rid of that one. That one doesn't need to be in here. That's pretty good, but I think I like the black more. Or the gray, the charcoal-y color. Charcoal wins. What do I want for Christmas? Injectors, fuel pressure regulator. Basically anything for the 240 to make it go vroom vroom. Rear-wheel drive, I guess. Maybe. We're done with all that. V12. Penalized quality -5. That would be very good. So how small we think? I was thinking like 2.5 liters. Basically, any car you make of this era is going to look a little bit like a Starion Conquest. I always loved that the XRGT in Lift for Speed looked so much like a Starion, and everyone was like, why does it look so much like a Supra? Oh, it looks exactly like a Starion. D-stroke to the minimum, 2.4. Shocking. 2.4, or no. Now it's stuck in my head. D-stroke to the minimum and see how big you can make it before it gets longer. That would be 2 liters. I think that would be a bit difficult. Yeah, like there's no denying that that car looks exactly like a Starion. So I will do that and put it up to 3. We'll start at 3. You can always change it. I think it's got to be dual rear cam and 4. Oh, let's obviously make that aluminum. Hey, tooltips. Hey, tooltips. There you go. Engineering, very high. I think there's a penalized quality, however, it goes off the screen, so I can't see it. Make it 75 by 60. Please, cone. Just for you. Starion is another one. I have never once seen a Starion in person. That I know of. Like, I could have been when I was a kid, but... There you go. 75 by 60. Well, we know it has to go to max RPM, so let's do forged steel. And me and Cooper were talking today. It does... You do need a forged steel crank to go really high in RPM now. That has changed. Oop, I didn't quality. Oh wait, quality didn't tilt the slider. And then probably forged and lightweight. We'll see. We might need. It's probably gonna need I-beam to do the challenge we're trying for. We'll use all of this. And gotta keep the valves from floating, so we're gonna need a lot of the VVL. Forged I-beams for RPM, yes, but oh, that's what I picked apparently. Yeah, I said that. I'm disagreeing with myself. Don't judge me. Ah, look at her. There are only positives for using I-beam over H. I remembered that. Any. Da. Multi-point. I haven't seen the multi-point injection on this. That's pretty cool looking. It's an extension of the V6 one I saw you create. Mr. Flyer. I can't get a good look at it. Nope. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm really curious how the how this works. Like as far as how the intake runners being different lengths work. How much power did I ever get out of a boosted 2-liter? I couldn't tell you. I know I've done that challenge before, but I couldn't tell you. Oops. ITBs. ITBs everywhere. Way not. Yeah, they're way not equal length. But if I remember correctly, the way they do it on V6s is that it looks different on the actual intake, but then once you look at the head, the way that it's routed to the valves is different. So like the total length is different than it looks. There was no restrictions on this, so it can be on super. Let's do twin for now, I think. Twin looks cool. Twin looks very cool. I wish it was chrome, but you can't have everything. Whoop. There's no way. There is 0% chance we're actually going to do this and have this thing go to 12,000. Learn a history about random V6s from the early 90s. And mostly front-wheel drive applications that they did that you'd see. And I think it was a Ford V6, maybe the Duratec or whatever. It had different length runners, but the actual head construction, the intake valve was further set into the left bank head. Like the heads didn't look identical. That's a strangely specific thing to know, but I dealt with somebody with a Duratec. Ooh, look at the spaghetti. Dual. Oh, we only. You guys gotta remember that we can only make 275 horsepower. I don't think maybe you guys remember that. Variable length runners, you say? Gosh. Kilrob didn't, but that other guy here does. Technically, there's no emissions restrictions on this, is there? I'll keep it on there. Somebody tell me if I need that or not. Let's do twin. Did I increase the quality on this? I did, okay. So first test. Any bold predictions? I think it's going to be way too much power. I don't think you need a cat. Yeah, I'm probably not keeping the race 2-wheelers. This is just a first build. Where is the cat? Oh, he's sleeping on the floor. Fail at 10,000. I don't think I was gonna win it that much. I was gonna say 95. 9. Failed from valve float. Technically, there are no emissions restrictions. Well, it made it pretty far, but good God, did it make too much power. Yeah, it failed about 10.5. So we're gonna need to go 5 valve for smaller valves, and I think we're probably needing to reduce the displacement to make less power, which will help too. So let's go to 2.5. valve does not get rid of it. You don't need that 100 VVL cap. No, absolutely not. Shrink the bore for valves. Okay, so maybe we'll square it up. We're a little under power right now, but I don't think we're tuned either. I like the two. Cooper's going for very. Just lower the fat. Cooper, you have to remember we can only make 276 horsepower, or 275 horsepower. That's our cap. So we have to shrink it a little bit. So with 0 tuning on this thing, we're already there. But, oh wait, did I lose? Oh, you lose. Well, you lose this on 5 valve anyway. There is absolutely no saving this valve train though. 64, 64. There is absolutely no saving this valve train. More aggressive cam needed, but look at the... look at this. Even if I go all the way, it gets close, but it still blows up, I think. Apparently I had some left in this. But don't put the can above something like 65. Agreed. Which is kind of where I had it. $70. $60. Oh no, no VVL. I tried it, but I didn't look at it. Oh, I think he gained some. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. What about this? Oh yeah, you gain a tech if you go no VVT too. Didn't save it, but it gained some. I think the VVT helps a significant amount though. 65, then 3 liters. Three liters what way? Square? Cooper, you did actually see the challenge, right? I don't think this is going to happen. Yeah, that was the challenge, to try and make it go to 12. I don't think it's going to happen though. Alright, so we have plenty of this left. Then we make far too much power. Less bore will help, but we can't we can't go much lower, you know? Make it 67 squared and go from there. Okay, we're going from there. Is 12,000 even possible? I don't think it is, personally. I've yet to see any signs of this. I mean, even if we go all the way down, we're just barely living. So I guess that's where we start. How big of an engine can we make where the valves live? So let's do 55. 55. Don't live. Don't live, yeah. There's no way. I can get it up to about... Get it up to about 1.5 liters before it freaks out. It is true. The criterion was that reliability is non-zero. So technically it is a living engine right now. Technically it makes 200 horsepower. Technically. Whether it actually scores or not. Excellent point that the 276 is the maximum power, not the required power. Bigger bore means bigger valves. Right. 1.6 liter V12. Perfect for a production vehicle. Duh. So we need less exhaust. And let's just see how much power we can make out of this thing. Like it is. Reasonably, anyway. I think we have a ton of compression left. Ton of compression left. Ton of compression left. Yeah, I mean, I don't see what's not realistic about a 1.6 liter 12.2 to 1 compression engine. V12. I cannot afford to bump the bore any. As soon as I bump bore... Oh. What changed? Is that... Guys. Guys. What changed? What did... I think all I did was change the headers, right? I didn't have 100 cam profile before. Okay. I thought I did. Well, how big can we go now? Oh, not very. Okay. Panic attack over. It really does still have a valve fluid issue. But we're much closer now. 267 horsepower. It's pretty close. So let's see it. Oh, sorry, I forgot I had my webcam so gigantic. I'm not doing anything up here. Well, the good news is we're making plenty of power. Pirelli, if you don't stop saying more throttle bodies. Better than my milky oil panic. Right. So let's take it as it is right now and put it into the car and see what kind of values we get. Let's just do a nice quick and dirty build on it. I'm just gonna run through everything. Make mistakes all along the way. That's probably more tighter than necessary. Alloys. I don't think there's any other choice but the keys. Vented discs. What are these? What are those? Yes, you're right. I forgot to increase this. Bam. That made it too powerful. Or is it 276? Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Don't panic. Semi. Let's do no arrow. We'll get this down to a reasonable place. Okay, quick. Speedy. Expedient. 4 seeds. Sport. Standard cassette. Come on, you can get a CD in 91. I know that for a fact. Because you can get on 240. Power steering. Standard, although somebody said safety was really important. Why 10-inch brakes in the rear? Because I said I was doing it quick and dirty. Oh, they're so cute. Although if you've seen a 240, pretty tiny brakes in the back. Gotta do this first. Right. So here we go. You know it's not bad? Like, looking at it here, it's not bad. 15.4 miles per gallon out of this engine. It's better than I expected. I don't know, it's really important. Minimum safety to qualify is higher. Brakes are optional. Totally optional. It's a pretty well-balanced car right now. Not doing anything with it. However, it's not scoring too great. So what was our goal? What was the goal of this? Light sport? Does anybody remember? Does it tell you anywhere? Your M3 is not from 1991. I don't remember the categories. Skip back. Yeah, I think that's the answer. Your car has a fat ass. I don't want to lose my car. He's all about trunk space. M3s do have pretty good trunks. Can anybody go into the game and look at it? And why doesn't it tell you here anymore? I think it used to. Yeah. I knew you were talking about M3. Well, Cooper, you're in the game. Do you mind looking at what the scenario goal was? Check the suspension tab, I mean. Oh, you mean in trim. Sorry. You know, it's got a little oversteer. Ah, Banksy, good point. That could definitely be why it's bigger. Smart. Alright, well, let's fix this. For sure. Wow, it's really on razor's edge, isn't it? But we need to do this anyway. Because the default setup sucks. If I pull it up, I'll lose my engine. If I pull it up, I'll lose my car. You want to look at my engine stats? Is that what you want to look at, Cooper? Okay. So, no more oversteer helps quite significantly. We're still struggling here. Oh, there's our target. I found it, everybody. I found the targets. 130 and 115. We're at 61 and 56. 61 and 56. So that's not great. I mean, it seems like it's handling pretty well. doesn't like it that way. Whoop, wrong way. Pull one tick off the gas mix. Let's do that. That's a good place to start. So premium, and then just to lose a little bit of compression. Yeah, I mean, virtually no change there. Is it actually higher? It could be higher. More tire. Possible. Well, mine's 1.8 liters and makes 273 horsepower, so I don't think we're off. Can't add boost because there's no turbos on V12s, and this challenge says no turbos. Okay, so how did that help us? Pack Bat for the win. That got us up into at least the green. We're at 106 now. And 97. So good progress has been made. Okay, so let's go back and keep making this engine more efficient. I think that would help. It's going to be tough with 12,000. Cooper. You're out. Get out of here with your pro skills. Could it run on regular? No. But I could lean it out a little, get a little bit more miles per gallon. Andrew, are you still around? I was told to ask. Actually, I think that we're all watching it at one point. Your AFR is 14-1, so yeah, it's much leaner than mine. To do that, I would lose a lot of power, I think. Which could be okay. Oh, we didn't even need that much. So what's that do for us? 17, that's better. Actually went even lower than that. Remember, you're knocking. Yeah. Oh, I think I fixed it though. Twitch delay. So I'm curious how much that helps. Not a whole lot. So it doesn't seem like they're too into the economy thing. Unless it just balanced out. You will probably get that option eventually, Banksy, but not anytime too soon. What about this stuff? What do they like here? Because affordability isn't too important. They like the safety. They like the safety a lot. Kind of hurts us in light sport. Yeah, we need to do that too. Remember when you used to be able to cheat that way? That was great. So basically you're copying my build. There you go. Be quick. I'm gonna change it real quick to steel. 113. Nope. 113. Okay, so it doesn't matter. But it probably makes it cheaper to go steel, right? But now it's over Sherry again. How could this happen? $133. We're getting closer. Yeah, we already have this one. We just need this one, 115. So let me go to the markets tab. Light Sport and Light Sport Premium, I think. which isn't even highlighted, unfortunately. Wait, click through all the tabs first? I haven't even adjusted this yet. Got a little more. A little bit more economy. Let's see if we can get this up to... Oh, it's already well into... This thing could do 60 in first. I like the viscous. Hey, we got a follower, which means no more do I have 240 followers. That was really pleasing me that I was sitting at 240 followers, but it's okay. Thank you for following. And eventually I'll see who it was so I can say thank you. Victor Bullets. 91's not too early for ABS. Good point. My 91 card did have ABS. Binksy. I can unsub. Banksy got us to bronze. This could be doable. This could be doable. It stinks that Chainsaw can't actually chat, but that's a... Hopefully he's enjoying. Nope. Now it's 242. That's unacceptable. Bottom left. Bottom left? Oh, we didn't actually get bronze? Boo. Oh, next rank is silver. Is 1120. So what's bottom left? I'm so confused. Daffy, I have a feeling you were probably following before that. We did get bronze. However, they did just fix the Twitch alert thing so that you can't do that. If you start doing it like a lot, it stops playing the sound. Okay, well, make it better. Charge control. Silver! I doubt you're actually sorry. And hey, Crash broke. The markets, the numbers for the market, yeah, they're down at the bottom left of here, right? Yeah, they're still here, even when they're not highlighted. So drivability, sportiness is 32. Sorry, not sorry. Footprint, good call on that. Cornering is 10%, so it's cornering really well right now, but the tires could potentially be larger. So let's do that. 1132 versus 1127, so that is better. However, I did not make it have the ability to have 245s in the back. That is better. 33, 36, 39. This is my favorite part. When it starts like creeping up, you're getting closer, you're getting closer. Light Sport Premium and Family Sport. Oh, there's the cat. Whoever wanted to know where the cat was. Hey. Say hello. You look angry. Okay. Okay. Well, that is very good information to know. 37, I think it went down. Yep. So that's the sweet spot there. He loves to be on the back of the chair. I swear he does it way more when I'm streaming, though. So he knows. He knows. Phone. Phone, go bye-bye. Thank you. Alright, so what score do we need to get? Where does it show that? I guess it doesn't unless you change, unless you make Kitty Demands Gold. Next rank is 1210. So we got a long ways to go. Adaptive? Adaptive, good. Progressive probably wouldn't be good. Hyper pneumatic would be terrible. Standard, I think, is probably the way to go there. Alright. But I think it probably has a little bit more grip lift in it if we get some stiffer springs in the front. Yep, we got it up there. They don't like that. They do like a little bit more ride height. They like a lot more ride height. Air suspension is available. Here, I'll click it just for you. No change. Okay, they have stopped liking that. It's like there's a big group of people behind me going, oh. No change there. Fully clad. No change there. No cladding. No change there. Okay, okay. Remember your adaptive springs. Remember my... Oh, adaptive dampers, you mean? No change. Oh, there is a change. Why was I remembering them? Because they worked or not? I'm so confused. Oh, I meant remember them as far as stiffening stuff up, maybe is what you're saying? I don't know. Progressive springs... No. Because they want it to be sportier than drivable. Adaptive dampers went away. Oh, I see. Okay. Good call. Good call. More camber in the front means it is getting close to oversteering. Well, yeah, it's very close. It is very close. I thought we had this... Oh, yeah. There's a sweet spot in this somewhere. It's actually less. There's the sweet spot. But what about the back? That seems like a lot of camber in the back, does it not? There's a reason for that. So could we do more camber in the back and the front? No. So 7... 90. 95. No. That's why gas monotune was selected. Gotcha. Gotta get it yellow flush. We haven't looked at the brakes at all, have we? So somebody here smarter than me, bottom out over a Pop-Tart. I like that expression. Another tick of negative camber on both. 797. Let's just keep doing that until it... Nope, that was nope, 1201. We've hit 1200. 1201 seems to be where we're stopping now. 1201, okay. Strengthen your springs. I strengthened them initially, but now it's starting to get to the point where it's like, 9 to go. All right, so brakes. Somebody help me out here with this chart on the right. The rear tires. Okay, this blue. Right, this brake setup is terrible. So somebody help me. So this blue is the speed of the rear tires, right? is the braking distance of the rear tire. Somebody help me with this chart. We'll start with the blue line here. That is the rear tires. I see that we have a lot of excess rear because somebody apparently said we needed bigger rear calipers or rotors, and we didn't. That's all I have to say. I did not think this was going to be possible. It's not only possible, but it's actually done and reliable. So here is again the stipulations, so we can available grip for the tires versus braking power. So you're saying at speed it's getting less available grip? I'm gonna just leave now. Yes, I agree there needs to be tutorials on the graphs themselves, like what are they representing? And they need to be hosted by none other than Cone Dodger. So let's read through this. Revisit gentleman's disagreement, but with the stipulation that you have to get gold, reliability at 12,000 RPM, naturally aspirated. We have one thing to do that we completely forgot about. How could you guys have done this to me? This is going to ruin the whole car, you know it. And how could we even do this? I don't even know. So let's see. Let's see what it is to begin with. Oh, it's so close. That's so close that I think I'm really going to be happy with it. But how could we change that? I think you should just get like as many people as possible to do the tutorial readings. Like just have random people do all of them. Like random people from the community. Like have PackPat do one. Have people from across the whole like early access automation community read a tutorial. I think that would be a really cool idea. Okay, yeah, we'll do that again. We'll go back to the brakes and we'll fine tune those because we didn't actually finish that. Just go Matt Farah. I have to say Matt Farah is probably one of the worst line readers, one of the worst voiceover people that I've ever heard that has made it this far into YouTube. He's really, really good at his commentary and stuff like that and his impressions of cars. But, yeah, his commentary or like his reading of lines and stuff like that and doing voiceovers, not very good. Okay, let me reset. You want the lighter line to be just barely above. I understand that, and I always go for that. I just don't understand why the slope in this line and why the slope upward in this line. Are we saying that two pistons in the front are going to make the front heavier? We need the rear to be heavier. But it does help the brakes overall, yes. We could technically get platinum. And less aggressive pads in the rear. Done and done. Doesn't really affect anything because it's not hurting anything. I really want to see some Smoky Tire episodes hosted by Zach. He's great. I don't think I'm familiar with Zach, so I can't tell you. Can't tell you. Okay, Banksy, that makes sense. I don't know if that's true or not, but it makes sense. So, now that that's sorted, the car is very good. It's well into the gold now. You think the slope is weight transfer. That also makes sense. So now I need somebody to actually tell me. Cooper agrees. Hey, title guy. Cooper agrees. Hey, title guy. That's what I meant. So the rears can handle more grip at lower speeds. Sounds good. I'll believe it. That's what I'm sticking with. Correct, Packpat, says Kilrob. So, my question is there any way to get this... Now we've made it worse. Is there any way to get this to 50-50? And is changing this to a giant rear rotor a possible way to do that? 50.5, we're getting there. We're getting there. I realize it's ruining the stats, but we have a goal here. And Tyler Guy, since you are just joining, here's the goal. Let's see the engine for a moment. Ain't she gorgeous? I know you want to see the stats, but ain't she gorgeous? Cone. I hate it when you do that. You just say cone. It's like... I understand the brake thing now. I think I have it. Yes, I want to answer from anybody. If I make the actual body longer in the back, does that change the way the weight is in the body, or does that not affect anything? And the amount above the line is bias. Okay, that makes sense. I think for the same displacement, the engine is lighter with a longer stroke. Okay, we're treading on dangerous waters there, though. You remember how tight these were, and we're only 0.5 away. So if we could get away with maybe not changing the bore and stroke of the engine, it does change with morphing. Let's try that first. Get some booty, car. Get some booty. Lots of booty. Let's see. It was at 50.5 before. 50.1. Yep, that makes sense. That all makes sense. You should write that into a tutorial so that I can read it and make one. Or you could read it. It's really close now, though. And I don't think there's anything left in the back. But we could technically make the nose shorter. I hated that nose anyway. $50.1. Soften the front anti-roll bar. Now we're getting desperate. Oh, and we're back down to silver somehow. How did this happen? What? How did this happen? Just changing this. Okay, we're back to gold. Something else changed, though. Because it was way higher than that. Shrink the headlight. Pop-up headlights. Smaller brake in the front. Now we're thinking. Let me go back. 50.1 still. Because it does have a little bit more brakes in the front than it needs. Okay, we're still gold. We're still gold. 50-50. Woo, yeah. So we've done it. That is all of the things done. Is all of the things done. Done. Son. So we have 50-50. We have a 12,000 RPM engine. And it is gold. Gold. But understand bias means something if you're gonna put the brakes in. So look at my brakes tab again. Okay. Looking at my brakes tab. Can we have another fan build thingamabob? I will do another fan build thingamabob somewhere around probably... I want it to be a real challenging one. And when we get into the mid-70s, things get real screwy with the whole automotive industry. So I think that's a good place to do one. Mm-hmm. I understand all of this. Mm-hmm. 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 I can't touch any of that right now because we just did a bunch of this stuff to make the weight distribution perfect. so so we're not touching that. So basically right after the crash happens, 74, yeah, probably 74, 75 is when we'll do that. I'm going to probably go for not a sports car this time. Or not a sports coupe. I think spoilers, but I think the next challenge I want to be is probably going to be a sedan. You can play with the pads though. That is a good point. So right now, way too much rear brake in this car, so it should be sporty, but not very drivable. So when I lower this, it should make it more drivable. It didn't. It didn't make it drivable at all. Okay, now it is. You want your front pads to be equal. If not, the car will feel weird. But are you driving the car? And that is, I don't think that's true if you're talking about real world, because I use different brake pads on my car, front and rear, all the time, intentionally trying to set it up differently. So like I have real sticky pads in the back of the 240 and normal pads in the front, because I was tired of how the front tires always wanted to lock up, and I wanted more rear brake bias, but you can't actually change the bias with a stock master cylinder. Pads equally give a small benefit. Equal excess gives larger benefit. Less aggressive pads give you more comfort and drivability. That much I get. Because you can lay into the brakes and they'll have good, long time usability, but they won't just lock up. I once had a real fadey pads in the front and good ones in the rear. Was great for a lap. Yeah. All right. Well, while we're waiting. Hey, here's a bug that keeps coming back. Like the highlighted section that you have in the morphing stays highlighted forever until you go back to the morphing. And then it goes away. Test track. Hey, Cooper, did you finish your car? And then the foot brake turned into an e-brake. It's not on airfield. Don't you love the new test track stuff? Oh, it's so much more realistic. Lifts. You heard a little wheel spin there in second gear. After traction control said no more. Sounds cool. Actually, if I may, the V12 sounds overall pretty non-satisfying. Like, they sound a little hollow to me. I said more realistic. I didn't say it's perfectly realistic. They're still working on it. But it feels much cooler. Like, it just, the driver takes a driving line instead of just a line. Yeah, V6 was really good. V12, pretty disappointing. The V10s will sound amazing because they will. They just will. Eventually. Someday. Oh, we'll get V10s. Yeah, I haven't spent a million hours playing with EQ on the V12s. Yet! 124.55. That's not an awesome time, but it's not terrible. 1.14 Gs in this update is really good, though. What's my score?